How on earth to go about finding your first guitar? I'm Dagan from PMTV UK, and as always, I'm here to help. If you're looking to buy your first electric guitar, the wealth of options can be very, very overwhelming. There's so many different types, models, and makes out there. I'm here to help you choose the one that's right for you. Probably the best place to start is with your heart. Who's your idol? The rock god that you aspire to be? There's so many ones to choose from. Who's your inspiration? They will have chosen the guitar they play for a very good reason. So if you want to look and sound like them, follow in their footsteps, let the guitar inspire you. Me myself, I'm a huge John Mayer fan, so I like Strats, PRSs, clean amps, as you can tell by that handsome chap over there. Whether you're buying for yourself, your mum, your dad, your son, daughter, your brother, and your uncle, or Johnny Malone, it's got to be a guitar that makes you say, "Wow, Bella." Some of your idols are lucky enough to have signature guitars made for them. As you see here, standard off-the-shelf Strat, maple board, standard pickups. In my left hand, the Jimi Hendrix Strat. Maple board, specially designed pickups. Jimmy was left-handed, but he actually played right-handed guitars upside down because they didn't make left-handed guitars back then. So, little perks are, the bridge pickup is slanted the opposite way to standard, and it's got an upside-down headstock, which makes the tension on the strings different, so it plays similar, but slightly different to a normal Strat. And here we have a Ritchie Blackmore Strat, which has a rosewood board, which is scalloped, so the wood and the frets are slightly dug in, scalloped. It's got Seymour Duncan pickups, but only two of them. The middle pickup is actually a dummy. It's got a three-way selector as opposed to a five-way, so when it's in the middle, it's both pickups on. Similar shape to a Fender Strat, what we have here is an Ibanez Gem. Ibanez have a plethora of signature models, and their most famous one is the Gem, Steve Vai signature. Some of the main aspects is two humbuckers and a single coil. This daft monkey grip, because Steve Vai is a legend and he does this. A dual lock and tremolo, so you can pull up. Float and tremolo, so you can pull up as well as down, and the guitar will stay perfectly in tune. Rosewood board, the Tree of Life inlay, which is Vai's signature thing. One volume, one tone, and a five-way selector. Also, fun little Gem fact, the input jack goes down the way. So if you stand on your lead, it's not going to come out. A very cool guitar. So if you want to look and sound exactly like your favourite guitar player, a signature guitar is definitely the best route to go down. Leave a comment down below if you can guess whose signature guitar this is. If signature guitars aren't your thing, it's probably best to go down the route of the style of music you enjoy. I'll show you a few examples now. Say if you like blues, probably something like a Strat, used by blues artists for years, mostly due to the fact of the single coil pickups and the tremolo system. Single coil pickups have a very twangy tone, very crystal clear tone that would be great for cleans and for a bit of overdrive. But if you want to get that classic rock kind of sound, best to go for humbuckers. The Gibson SG. Solid mahogany body, mahogany neck, set neck so the neck is glued in, and humbucker pickups. So there's two coils on each pickup. A three-way selector. These pickups are very thick sounding, very full sounding, great for big power chords and for leads. Each pickup has its own independent volume and tone control as well, so the tonal options on one of these are crazy. If you want to play something a bit heavier though, these humbuckers are medium output. You want something like a higher output, like this. The ESP E2 Eclipse. Like the Gibson SG and Gibson's, has a mahogany body, a mahogany neck. It's got an ebony fretboard as opposed to rosewood, but the most defining character for metal are the active AMG pickups. Active pickups mean there is a battery powering them, so they're extremely high output, extremely compressed, and very tight. Great for metal. Moving on, jazz. When playing jazz, you have to make sure that the body is in a V shape, and the neck has a V curve to it. Most jazz guitars have a Floyd Rose for your crazy dive bombs. That's not jazz, is it? Right, 2 seconds. The jazz guitar, the real jazz guitar. This is an Ibanez Artcore. This guy is fully hollow, so it's extremely resonant. But the most defining factor are the pickups. Again, pickups are an extremely important part of this. It's got humbuckers like the SG and like the ESP, but they're quite mellow sounding, quite soft, so they're very articulate with what you're playing. But they're quite thuddy as well, but it's that jazz kind of thing though, for doing crazy scales and playing 1,000 chords. Fun thing about this is, it's got a tremolo, so you can get all... Very nice. Speaking of hollow bodies, let's move on to country. The Gretsch. Hollow guitar, although they do make some with a spruce center block in to stop feedback when you get a bit higher gain, because hollow body guitars do tend to feed back with higher gain. Not the best for metal, but the pickups in this are Filtertron-esque. So they're very twangy, spunky, in between a Strat single coil and the humbuckers found on the SG. This guy also comes with the Bixby, which is very fun to get your spaghetti western on. Gretsch's mostly have a master volume as well, so you can find the sweet spot between two pickups with the volumes, and turn the whole thing down with a master volume. The only guitar, I think, with a master volume and two single volumes for the pickups. Very cool. So there's a rundown of a few guitars. There's hundreds of guitars to choose from though. That was just like the nichest of the layman's terms for guitar styles, but every guitar can do everything pretty much. You can play blues on the ESP, you can play metal on the Strat. You really have to come into a PMT store to find the guitar that's right for you. If you play electric guitar, you need an amplifier. Blackstar are extremely prominent these days because they make everything from 10 watt practice amps all the way up to £1,000 200 watt full valve heads. Let's start with some of the smaller range, like this little ID Core 10. So this guy, the Stereo 10, is a 10 watt stereo practice amp, so it's got two speakers. It has a number of different voicings going from like Fender style twangy cleans all up to full Mesa Boogie high gain, Blackstar high gain I should say. It's got a volume, a gain and an EQ knob. The EQ knob is Blackstar's patented ISF system, which shifts where the mid sits between bass and treble to get American or British valve tone. Also, built-in effects. There's reverb, delay and modulation. There's 4 different styles of effects for each kind of effect and a level. Also a tap tempo for the delay. Other cool things are that it has a headphone out, so you can sit with headphones on and crank it and not annoy the neighbours, and a line in, so you can play along with your favourite backing tracks and your favourite songs. Also, for such a small amp, you can save presets in it. So instead of faffing about with the settings each time you play, you can save your own presets in for clean, distortion, whatever, and just tap one button on the top to get it sorted. So moving up in the range of Blackstar, you can either go for wattage, this is an ID Core Stereo 40, so 40 watts, or tech spec, this is the Blackstar Beam in a lovely shade of red. This guy has exactly the same guitar features as this, apart from you can play bass through it and acoustic guitar through it. There's so many cool settings for that. Also, the main feature of the Beam is that it's a Bluetooth stereo speaker, so you can wirelessly stream your music through it as you're playing, or if you just want it as a little hi-fi in the house. It's a great bit of kit. Blackstar have you covered if you want a first valve amp as well. This is the HT5, an all-valve amp with 2 channels, an overdrive and a clean. The clean channel has a volume and a tone, the overdrive channel has a volume, a gain and a 3-band EQ, as well as the ISF switch that I mentioned earlier. Also a bit of built-in reverb, which is very fun. So, Blackstar have you covered with everything, to be fair. Beginner-wise, all the way to boutique hand-wired-wise, but there is plenty of other amps available. You need to come into a PMT shop if you want to try them out. You can pick one that's perfect for you. Here at PMT, we're happy to put together any bundle you want with a amp and guitar. However, if you just want a quick grab and go, Yamaha Pacifica packs. We do these with an amplifier, cables, tuner, everything you'd need. And these guitars are kick-ass. Humbucker to get your rocky sounds. Up in the neck and the bridge, the neck in the middle, you have single coils to get that spanky kind of blues sound. So they're extremely versatile guitar. 1 volume, 1 tone, the tremolo, everything you need in one package with a nice amp. Now I've got the basics down with the guitar and the amp. Not all amps come with effects, so now I've got the luxury of buying hundreds of thousands of effects, which is what will happen. Say Hendrix, for example. If you want a Hendrix sound, the best thing you can go for is a fuzz face and a wah pedal. Say Eddie Van Halen, you need a phaser, basically Van Halen 1 in a box. There's thousands of pedals to choose from and thousands of effects. Flanges, choruses, tremolos, delays and reverbs. Again, it's best to come in the store and everyone here will be happy to help you out. So I hope this little video has given you some insight on what to look for when choosing your first guitar, your first amp, and all the little fun things that go in between. But like I keep saying, there's hundreds of options, thousands of options available. Call into your local PMT store, myself or another guitar expert will talk you through anything you need to know. If you like this video and want to see more gear reviews, more tutorials, more buying guides, be sure to subscribe to PMTV UK on YouTube. Goodbye.